Okay, guys, so we're back. Uh, Here is what I have so far on the trailer. I've glued the mud flaps down and added the wheels and axle to the bogie, which is pretty easy. I ended up putting the bogie frame on top of the axle frame with the little cylinders in it that are like the, I don't know, brake hubs or something. And then the mud flaps just kind of glued to the bottom of the trailer. They're kind of weak. I suppose you could touch glue them to this white frame on the back here where the bumper is, but you don't really have to. A good way to get the wheels onto the axles without messing up the bogies is to place it on its side. Take something like, I used my round end of my X-Acto knife, which is about the same circumference as the rim, and then I just pushed down and I could feel the tire slip onto the axle. So now that's on, and that's how that'll be. It's just a single axle rear tire. Okay, now I accidentally glued my landing gear to the surface there. I have these two little pieces here. These go onto the bottoms of the landing gear. The landing gear is very easy to put together. This is how I put it together. There is no actual instructions that say how to put it together, but yeah, it's pretty basic, really. After I get it together, these two little nubs down here on the bottom go inside of the landing gear bottoms. So I'll just go ahead and stick those on there real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I did some of the building off camera because you know, it was a little hard to work the camera and move everything around all at the same time. But all in all, it's a pretty easy kit. It's a lot easier than some other things I've had to build. As long as these landing pads get in there straight, I'm sure this will be no problem as well. This one doesn't want to go in straight. But that's because it is off slightly. I don't know if you can see it. This side tilts outward a little bit, but I can slightly bend it in when I'm ready to glue it to the bottom of the trailer. Actually bend it in a little bit right now and see how it looks on there. Now this triangular piece here on the landing gear, I'm not sure if it goes forward or backward. I can't really remember. So I'll set it on there and take a look at it, see if it looks right. And just set it on there without gluing it. And if it doesn't look right, I can turn it around. Actually, tilted back looks better. But I'm still not sure if that's correct. I just can't remember how the landing gear went on these trailers. But, you know, that's the wonders of pictures on the internet, I guess. Oh, wait a minute. There is instructions here on how to do this. Okay. So the landing gear does go backwards. And it says on here that these pieces should go on the outside. But when I did that, the tires actually rubbed on the bottom of the trailer, on the gray part. And if you can see, the gray part of the trailer actually fits down inside of a little groove into the white part of the trailer. So if I had done it the way they had said, the wheels would have hit the white edges of the trailer right here and probably bent the axle up or busted the plastic off. So I'm going to glue the landing gear down real quick because I actually want to see how it looks. And then after I do that, I want to just take a quick look at what it looks like attached to a semi truck. Okay, the only other piece to put on is this little back starter piece, it's called. I already know where that goes though. It goes in the very back. And then we'll get a truck out and put this little trailer on there, see what it looks like. See, is that glued on there enough? So there you go. There's the trailer, it's on there. So that's pretty neat. It's not done. There are 2 more details to go on here, and then I can start the decal process. This is probably the most intricate piece of detail I've ever seen in a model. And I've seen a lot of intricate details in models, but this is the little tiny crank handle to crank up the landing gear and lower the landing gear for when you hook it up to a semi-truck. So yeah, that's pretty cool that this detail is actually added in this kit, because it adds quite a bit of detail. You wouldn't think it would. You'd think it's just a little detail arm or whatever, but actually it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I remember when I used to go with my dad, he would back the trailer into a spot. He always got it done the first time. I have a couple of trailers, and they're not long like a semi-trailer, but I have a hard time just trying to back up my little trailers, you know. My dad would get his trailer backed in the first time, every time. So, anyway, there's the crank handle on there. I don't know if it'll stay, it might fall off. Let's see if you can see that. The light is kind of crappy in here. As you can hear, there's a really bad storm out right now. It's very windy, and it's just making havoc of roof shingles and trees, and my garbage cans went rolling down the highway, so it's pretty windy outside right now. But I'll put this last detail part on here. I'll make sure it fits before I put any glue on it. Yep. This is called the starter piece. Don't know why. But yeah, this is the last, I believe the last piece to go on. At least for details anyway. Okay, I'm going to put glue on a different part and try it again. Okay. I put a little too much glue on there, so I'm going to dab it on this towel over here. You don't want too much glue on your models. Okay, that looks good. So, here is, what did I do here? Oh no! Okay, you guys might have seen it, but I didn't. Somewhere in my shop, I lost one of the little landing gear pads off the end of the landing gear. So I'm not sure where it is. I'll look for it and I'll come back and we'll be right back. Okay, so I could not find the other landing gear pad. I looked everywhere for it. I don't know where it is. It'd be a shame to order a set of landing gear just for a pad. So I think I'll just try and do my best and make one. Or maybe I can find one somewhere else. But as it sits, literally, the trailer will not sit level because it's missing the landing pad. I've looked all over the floor, the bench work. I just don't know where it is. So I'll probably just make one. I also wanted to show you this trailer. This is from let's see, what, not American Limited. This one was geez, I don't know, can't remember. It'll come to me. But it has a real wood deck, rubber tires, loads of underbody detail, including the jack stand handle, and a little toolbox. It even has the spare tire holder, which you can fit a rubber tire in there to make it look real good. I've ordered some extra tires, and I've got a few boxes I have to go through. I got some train stuff from a guy, and I went through one of the boxes. A lot of the stuff I'm not really all that excited about, but I know there are some things that I am excited about in those boxes, so I'll get to those sometime. You see the mud flaps say Viking on them. These are some of the, this is one of the items that I forgot to spray clear, so the decal's kind of shiny. Yeah, with the real wood deck and the rubber tires and just all the details. It says Viking on the front as well. It's a really good trailer, if I can remember the name of it. I'm sure by the end of this video I'll remember it. Lone Star. That's what it is. This is a Lone Star model. The reason why I remember that is because it reminds me of that cartoon in the 80s, Brave Star. It's kind of a dorky cartoon, but it's only on for a short period of time. Anyway, I'm going to put the wheels and axles together for the flatbed. And I did glue the landing gear down on the flatbed. And You can still see a little bit of white showing through on here and on the trailer. If you spray paint a trailer or a model like I did with a rattle can, especially when it's too cold outside, I should have known better, but you know, I got to get stuff done. So if you spray a model too much, the detail will actually disappear. I can touch this up and all the white spots with a paintbrush. Anyway, on this kit with the A-Line 24-foot flatbed doubles, it doesn't exactly tell you where to place the landing gear. It just says glue it to the bottom. What I've done is, I'll count these for you. You can see there's 3 channels there, and then the landing gear. So when I put it on the semi, I can move it a little closer. When I put it on the tractor, and you can still pivot it, and it doesn't touch the landing gear. It's close, but it's not gonna touch it. So I think that's the perfect position to put those. Also, another thing I just noticed, these axles are actually plastic for this particular model, so I'll have to be very careful that I don't break it. Oftentimes in these kits, there'll be a messed up looking wheel. Try to put those to the inside. Also, I do lightly remount the holes on these, especially with the plastic ones, because you can just bend them and break them really easy. Okay, now that I got that in there, I'm going to go ahead and try and slide it through this hole. It's such a tight squeeze that it doesn't want to go. I will get it nonetheless, like so, and then put the wheel and axle from the other side together. Now what I was saying was, you see how this tire kind of has a lip around the outside of it, or around the outside, the outer wall. There's kind of a lip on it. Well, I don't want that showing on the model, so I'm going to put this tire in first because it looks a lot better. Now I'm going to put that lip to the inside so you never see it. I know the rim is a little messed up, but there's nothing I can do about that. I'll remount the hole on this one, just enough to make it pop on nice and easy. Okay. I like the tires to be nice and flush mounted with the rims, because oftentimes when you look at a model like on somebody's layout, you'll see that it looks like the trailer or vehicle almost has a blowout, and it looks kind of goofy. Okay, so there is the trailer. A 28 footer, or a 24 footer, excuse me. Now I'll touch up the axle black, I'll touch up all the little white spots. There's another one along here, and I'll paint the deck a wood color. You know, and a little detail painting like the tail lights. So when I come back, I'll have the other trailer assembled, which goes together the same way, except there'll be two axles on it, one going through this slot and one going through this one. You can see where the slots are there. There's the forward one, and here's the reverse, right there. And then when you come back, the wheels and axles will be on this, and we'll be at the paint booth. Okay, so here's the wood decks. They are painted, just 3 different colors. I put a base down of this one, or no, excuse me, a base down of this one. And then a little bit of dabs of the darker brown, which is the burnt sienna, which is also good for rust, by the way. And then buttermilk barbecue. Is that barbecue? No, Babir. Sorry. So buttermilk. Just a little bit of dabs of that and then rub on it. And I got my doubles. Which I should probably move the camera so you can see it. So I'll detail paint the tail lights. I'll touch up the black areas, and the next time you see it, I should be adding details to it. So we'll see you back real soon.